Hello everyone, myself Ami Mehta and let us discuss first come first serve scheduling algorithm. So the concept of first come first serve algorithm is that the whichever processes is come first, it will be going to executed first in the CPU. So basically this is the simple fundamental concept of queue, that whoever comes first, that turns get first. So the selection criteria is the process that request first is served first. It means that processes are served in the exact order as they come. Okay. So the decision mode. So it is a non-preemptive mode. It means that once a process is selected, it runs until it blocks for an IO or some event, or it terminates. So this is the non-preemptive type of algorithm. How it actually implemented. So this strategy, first come first serve scheduling algorithm, can be easily implemented by using FIFO queue, first in first out queue. So through this FIFO queue, this strategy can be easily implemented. So when first process enters the system, it starts its execution. All other processes are appended in a queue. So for example, here it is P1, then P2, then P3. So P1, P2, then P3, then P4. So first one is P1, then P2, then P3, then P4. So these all are in the queue. Now when CPU becomes free, a process from the first position, so this is the first position in a queue, is selected to run. So let us understand the example. So let us understand this scenario through this example, that if there is this process P0, P1, P2 and P3, and we have its arrival time and we have its time required for completion, how actually first come first serve algorithm will work. Okay, so we have to consider all these time values in milliseconds. So let us understand this example, that how it will work in first come first serve algorithm. So process P0 comes at the time duration 0 millisecond. So it will, for example, at here. So here the queue will be like P0. Then after 1 millisecond, after 1 millisecond, it means at the time duration of 1 millisecond, P1 comes. Then P2 comes at the 3 millisecond and P3 comes at 5 millisecond. So first we have to draw a Gantt chart for it. So this is basically a chart how at the process comes and at what duration it executes. So for at the time point of 0, process P0 comes. So this is a single process, it will be selected for the execution. Now the time required for the each and every process is, for P0 it is 10, for P1 it is 6, for P2 it is 2 and for P3 it is 4. So the first is at 0 millisecond, process P0 comes. It is the first process, so it will be executed in the CPU. At what amount time? At 10 millisecond. After that, process P1 comes. So the second chance is but obvious of P1. So it will be executed for 6 millisecond. So 10 plus 6 is equal to 16. Now after P1, P2 comes. So it will be executed for 2 millisecond, because its time duration to complete that process is 2 millisecond. So 16 plus 2 is equal to 18. Then after process P3 comes and it will be executed for 4 millisecond, because its time to complete is 4. So 18 plus 4 is equal to 22. So this is how P0 comes at 0 millisecond and it completes at 10 millisecond. Now P1 comes in that time slot is early, But what happened actually that process P0 is executing, so P1 have to wait until the P0 completes its execution. Meanwhile, there is also process P2, P3 is in the queue, but process P0 is executing in the CPU. P1, P2 and P3 have to wait until it's complete. After that P1 gets its turn, now P2 and P3 also have to wait. Okay, then after P2 will be executed, P3 have to wait, and at the end P3 will be executed. So let us see the value of the turnaround time and the waiting time. So first, initially only process P0 is present and it is allowed to run. But when P0 completes, it means at 10 millisecond, all other processes are present. It means P1, P2, P3 are present. So next process from ready queue is selected and allowed it to run till it completes. So this process is repeated till all processes complete their execution. So this is the whole scenario of this process. Process P0 comes at arrival time 0, its completion time is 10 and its finish time. That finish time we have listed from this Gantt chart. So this is the finish time for P0 is this 10 millisecond, for P1 it is 16 millisecond, for P2 18 millisecond and for P3 it is 22 millisecond. So from Gantt chart we can get the finish time. Okay, so let us clear it and now let us understand this table. So arrival time we have already P0 comes at 0 millisecond, P1 at 1, P2 at 3, P3 at 5. Completion time, so time required to complete this process is also we have 10, 6, 2 and 4. Now this finish time we have listed from the Gantt chart that P0 it finished at 10 millisecond, P1 it finished at 16 millisecond, P2 it finished at 18 millisecond and P3 it finished its execution at 22 millisecond. Now as per the equation of turnaround time, so turnaround time is equal to finish time minus arrival time. So for process P0, 10 minus 0 is equal to 10. For process P1, 16 minus 1 is equal to 15. For process P2, 18 minus 3 is equal to 15. And for process P3, 22 minus 5 which is equal to 17. So these all are the turnaround time for the all processes. So the average turnaround time will be 10 plus 15 plus 15 plus 17 divided by total number of processes which is 4. So it is equal to 14.25 millisecond. Now what is the waiting time? That processes are in the ready state but some other processes are executing in the CPU, so they have to wait in ready queue. So the equation for the waiting time is turnaround time minus its finish time. Okay, so turnaround time minus completion time. Okay, so for process P0 the turnaround time is 10, completion time is 10, so it is the waiting time for is 10 minus 10 is 0. So logically it is but obvious because P0 is come as first and it will execute at 10 millisecond and all other processes are waiting. But P0 do not have to wait for any other processes because it is the first. So the waiting time is but obvious 0. Now P0 is executing and P1 comes at 1 millisecond. But P0 is executing up to 10 millisecond. P1 have to wait in the ready queue. So the turnaround time for the waiting time for P1 is equal to its turnaround time minus completion time. So 15 minus 6 is equal to 9. So this is the waiting time for P1. Same for P2, it comes at 3 millisecond, but again P0 is executing, it have to wait. So the waiting time for process P2 is equal to 15 minus 2, which is equal to 13. And for the last process P3, turnaround time is 17, completion time 4, so 17 minus 4 is equal to 13. So this all are the waiting time for the process. So the average waiting time is equal to 0 plus 9 plus 13 plus 13 divided by 4, which is equal to 8.75 millisecond. So this is the first come first serve algorithm, which is very simple, that whoever comes first, it gets its turn first. What is the advantages? It is simple, fair, it is easy to understand, easy to implement. What is disadvantages? It is not efficient and the average waiting time is too long. So these are the all about first come first serve scheduling algorithm. Thank you.